Ja Morant is way too talented of a basketball player to be making headlines for all this off the court stuff that's been going on. So today, we're going to be restarting his career, and in the game of 2K, we're just going to let him hoop and see what he can do. We're going to end this video when he wins an NBA championship. He got drafted 4th overall to the San Antonio Spurs, and you all know the Spurs. They ended up adding Christian Wood to the roster and Josh Hart, but the roster mostly looks the same. They also added Kings legend Trey Lyles. Bro was getting buckets in the playoffs. But anyways, let's go ahead and let's get to the playoffs. Nah, psych, bro. There was no type of playoffs, and Ja didn't win Rookie of the Year. So we're jumping straight to year 2. Here's the player progression. Ja Morant's an 84. We picked up Alex Caruso. We've actually got some nice role players on this team. We got Slow-Mo. What you know about Kyle Anderson? We got some good young players. This roster actually looks pretty decent, especially for the future. Unfortunately, though, we still are yet to take that jump. Individually, though, Ja Morant was doing really well. He ended up almost leading the team in scoring. I mean, actually, Keldon Johnson was kind of far ahead of him, but he was good at basketball, you know what I mean? And for year number 3, Ja Morant is up to an 88 overall, so just continuous improvement. And man, our depth is kind of crazy going into year 3. I mean, maybe we can at least make a play-in appearance, and that's exactly what we do. 41 and 41, the definition of mid, but hey, we'll take it. 10th seed, and Ja Morant almost 25 points per game, so a huge improvement over the first 2 seasons. And in the play-in tournament, we're facing the Los Angeles Lakers, and we end up absolutely destroying them, winning by, hold on, let me count, that's like 24 points, so a big win for the team. And we're moving on to the second round of the play-in tournament because, yeah, as a 10 seed, we got to win 2 play-in games. Was that Dylan Brooks on our team helping us drop off the Lakers? He got his revenge. I don't think Bron's on the team anymore, though, but in this game, we end up losing, so no playoffs for us, but we were close, man. So hopefully next season we'll be able to take that leap into the NBA playoffs. It seems like Ja Morant is continuing to improve year by year individually, so hopefully as a team we can take that next jump. And I realized this offseason I made a mistake. Somehow Scoot Henderson was on our roster as we had the second pick, and if you don't remember, Ja Morant was in the 2023 draft, so I must have accidentally imported the 2023 draft twice, so now we have double of all the players. So we've got Scoot twice, we've got Wembanyama twice in the league, so that's my bad, but it'll add an interesting little element to the video, and we're in too deep at this point. We're too far committed, so we're just going to keep it pushing. There's going to be 2 Victor Wembanyamas in this league. We went 38 and 44, so no play-in tournament for us, so a step back from last season. We were 41 and 41 last year, but individually, Ja Morant continues to improve, and Scoot Henderson, even though I made a mistake by putting in that draft, he could actually be a huge addition to our team next to Ja Morant. And this season, I was expecting Ja Morant to make an all-star team, but unfortunately, he didn't make it. Honestly, it's just because 2K's all-star system makes no sense. I mean, Ja was 4th in the MVP race, but yet he wasn't an all-star. But what can you do? I'm going to just keep it pushing. Really, we're worried about Ja Morant trying to go out there and get an NBA championship. It's cool, the all-star appearances and all that, but it's about the championship, man. And Ben Simmons, he's back in Philadelphia. He averaged less than 5 points per game in OKC, and he's back in Philly. That is wild, man. Ja Morant makes All-NBA third team this season. He was in those MVP conversations around the All-Star break, but All-NBA third team is good, and more importantly, we were the 3rd seed. So a huge jump for our team this season, and we're facing up against the Los Angeles Clippers with Luka Doncic and Karl Anthony Towns. So they're a pretty good 6th seed, and they're showing it. We're down 3-0 in this series. We do take 1 game, but ultimately, that's all we're going to get. We end up losing in 5, and we're going to move on to yet another season. I've said this time and time again, but our team is really deep, and yet we still have yet to even make it out of the first round. Ja Morant is once again an All-NBA player. Hopefully that'll translate to some playoff success. We make it out of the play-in tournament and are facing the 2nd-seeded Oklahoma City Thunder, who have one of the 2 Victor Wembanyamas in the league. And they also have Jordan Poole, Josh Giddey, and Xavier Booker. Their roster is stacked. In round number 1, we take the first game, they take the second, we take the third, we take the fourth. We're up 3-1 against the 2 seed, and we beat them in 5. So finally, we're out of the first round, and Morant is hooping 40 and 10 to close them out. And just look at the playoff stats, man. A double-double average, over 11 assists per game, and he's also putting up ridiculous scoring numbers. Round 2, we've got the Warriors, who I guess have Sabonis coming off the bench because they have him as their highlighted player, but he's not in the starting lineup. Like, he's standing there on the lineup screen, but he's not in the starters. We're down 3-0, though. We get swept by Golden State, so we'll keep it pushing. Another season. Scoot Henderson continues to improve. He's starting to look really good, 88 overall, so he can be like a backcourt partner for Ja. They do play the same position, which could get a little complicated, but hopefully the Spurs will be able to figure it out. We're 53-29 on the season, almost the number 1 seed, and they've got Ja Morant coming off the bench for the team, which I don't really understand, but I'm going to let it rock because it seems like it's working for us. And we're up 2-1 against the Pelicans, 3-1, and boom, we're out of the first round. Round 2, we're facing the Oklahoma City Thunder once again, whose roster still looks really good. Victor Wembanyama improved, but so did Scoot Henderson, so hopefully we'll be able to win this series. In game number 1, we win game 2, we win game 3, and man, that was an easy sweep for us. We're moving on to the conference finals against the 1-seeded Houston Rockets. We still have Scoot in the starting lineup, but it's been working for us, so I guess we'll just keep him there. We take game 1, we take game 2, we take game 3, so we have a comfortable 3-0 lead. The Rockets are trying to get back in it, though, and ultimately they force a game 7. Are we actually about to blow a 3-0? Yes, we are. We end up losing in game 7, and I actually figured out why once I checked the stats. Ja Morant only played 8 minutes, and I thought, oh, maybe he fouled out in 8 minutes, but no. He just wasn't playing in the playoffs. They had him coming off the bench, and the lineups had him set to playing a lot of minutes, but he just didn't get those minutes. So that's a huge issue. We're going to have to move Scoot Henderson to the 2 guard in the offseason. Moving Scoot to the 2 did take his overall down by a bit, but we can't have Ja Morant just not playing basketball, so it was just something we had to do. And this guy for the Brooklyn Nets is going crazy. He's in his 4th season and won the MVP. Scoot Henderson was most improved, so even though his overall went down by going to the 2, he had a great season, All-NBA first team. It seems like he might be better than Ja Morant at this point. I mean, Ja's really good himself, but Scoot has been crazy. And yeah, you see 2 Amen Thompsons on the all-defensive first team. That's my bad for putting the draft twice, but this year we didn't even make the playoffs. So another uneventful season. Let's see if we can bounce back. And we bounced back in a big way. 50-32 on the season. A big year for the team. Hopefully this is the year where we can make a finals appearance and maybe even win. We've got a really good backcourt with Scoot Henderson and also Ja Morant, so hopefully those guys will be enough to get it done. We've got the Utah Jazz in round 1, and the Jazz are headlined by Luka Doncic. Doncic took us down. Oh my gosh, bro, the roster is ridiculous. They got Luka, Nick Smith Jr., and Zion. That is crazy. Too bad I don't care. We're down 3-1 in the series, though. We take game 5. We take game 6. Come on, give us game 7. Yep, I didn't even have to simcast. I knew what was about to happen. We're out of there. And look at our big 3. Perkins drops 33 and 16. Y'all remember that video of Kendrick Perkins dribbling in his driveway? We've got the Warriors who have Victor Wembanyama and Scotty Barnes along with Jalen Duren, but guess what? We don't care. We're up 1-0. It's tied up at 1-1. We're up 2-1. We're up 3-1. Come on, get them out of here. That's a gentleman's sweep. Now we've got the Oklahoma City Thunder. We've had to face Victor Wembanyama twice in this playoff run on 2 different teams, but guess what? We're about to drop him off twice. 1-0, 2-0. Come on. We're going to the finals. 3-0, 3-0, 4-0. Get him out of here. We're in the NBA Finals. Scoot Henderson is the Western Conference MVP, and we've got the Toronto Raptors. This is probably one of the worst teams we've faced throughout this run to the finals, so I'm not really too scared. 1-0, 2-0. 3-0, and in game number 4 with the chance to close out the series, we've got a close one. This is exactly what I wanted to see. and Ja Morant doesn't have the ball in his hands, but hopefully he'll get it eventually. He's in the corner for three. Come on, Ja! He turned around before it even went in. Check out the replay. Look at Ja Morant, man. Before the three even went in, he turned around. He did a little look off, held the form, did the little follow through. That was tough, but let's see if the Raptors can make something happen. They get to the free throw line there, so yeah, both of these end up dropping for Paolo Banchero. We've got a 1-point game. Hopefully Ja Morant can make another big play down the stretch. He's bringing the ball up the floor. Looks like he's kind of got a lane, but they end up fouling because it's this weird 2K thing where guys just foul with like 27 seconds left. Ja makes both free throws, and the Raptors have one more chance at it. Paolo gets downhill, drops it off to the big man who misses, and this game is wraps. Ja Morant is an NBA champion. He did it, man. We simulated quite a few years, but ultimately, it's done. Ja Morant is a champion. Scoot Henderson, Finals MVP. Hope y'all enjoyed. Have a great day. Be sure to like and subscribe.